Kal Halalim La Yahal Bashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles, peace, blessing, mercy, and salutation to all the brotherhood out there, the bishops and elders to keep the rule, and all the brothers out there teaching the truth and sincerity. Alright, so the electricity went out in Spain yesterday, right? And the brothers reported on it. Everybody that did a video did a good job, and I'm just gonna do some basic things, nothing fancy, and then of course we're gonna get some scriptures that's very important to this. All right, in Spain and Portugal, businesses and in France, they're saying in France too, businesses heavily reliant on electricity include manufacturing, especially in sectors like motor vehicles, food production, and chemicals. Hospitals, banks, schools, and telecommunications also require reliable power for essential services. Mining operations in Portugal, a major producer of lithium, tin, and copper, also depend on electricity. So you could get it, right? You get it. So, and you see, this is all AI overview, and you could tell right there, it says it, and this is how you get a better understanding. So, I was just looking to see what kind of businesses depend on it, but it's giving me more than that, right? So hospitals, that means that some patients, I'd say thousands of patients, because if the electricity went out in all the hospitals, just look up how many hospitals there are or were affected, and then you get the gist. But they're not going to tell you. But let's say there's, I'm gonna keep it low, 25 hospitals throughout all of Spain, Portugal, and France, wherever it was affected by the electricity outage. Those hospitals lost patients. Sometimes there's elderly patients, sometimes there's patients in the ER, sometimes there's patients hooked up to machines, and the patients that are hooked up to machines could be babies. Babies are born, they can't breathe on their own, so they're in an incubator. That machine went out. I don't know how long, but we could imagine that there were some deaths. Let's say there was 25 deaths, one per each hospital. That's a low ball. So, there's that. And those are just, patients that are elderly and newborns and people that are hooked up on machines, like breathing machines. Well, they didn't make it, but guess what? That's not all. That's just a little bit. Now, it says here manufacturing was also affected. So the food processing, it says right here, I'm gonna highlight it. Food processing and chemicals are highly vulnerable to power outages. Okay? Food processing probably lost tons of food. Food went bad because they don't have GMOs in Europe. They have the real food that goes bad real fast. Damn. So that food is out, you know. Now there's a bunch of hungry motherfuckers. We'll see today. Today is just the morning over here on the west coast of Babylon. But the report later of violence and all that stuff, it's only been a day. I don't think so. And banks, right? So banks, you couldn't get money. There was no money. And that one's important. So the money situation was like, unless you had cash, and even if you did have cash, which I heard Spain doesn't really use much cash. Everybody pays with their phone, right? Oh, guess what? In order for you to pay for it with your phone, there has to be a device with electricity running and connected to the internet and making bank transactions left and right. It has to be working, so that was down. So damn. And your electric cars, if your car wasn't charged and you didn't charge it, you might not be able to charge it again. Like the Apostle Tahar said, the gas pumps were down because they're all digital. You know what else is digital? Your bank account. And this has already been covered. But if your bank account is digital, meaning it's not analog, they don't have a book that's a ledger, and they don't have fucking gold and silver backing it up, the paper money. They have, electric money. And just think about this. They also have a stock market. So that was making no money. So you lose one day, you lost a lot of fucking money. You lost what's called traction. You lost traction. So now business owners are suffering. There's a big hole right there. And it's screaming money. The food production, people dying, the chemical plants. All those chemicals are volatile now, or because they don't just go bad overnight. They have what's called the half-life. Man. And that could be years. I mean, but in order to process those chemicals, you have to keep them at a certain degree. So I know they have ice cream shops or ice cream stores, yogurt stores, and they depend on ammonia to keep that refrigerant going, keep it cold in there. Keep it cold. Alright? So then that was not working. So all that product just went bad. I'm trying to. So all that product went bad. That's another big hole in the money. It's hurting. It's hurting. It's hurting, man. Alright. Now this one right here is gonna hurt the country. The mining. And lithium is needed for your phone. Alright, pal. And I'm gonna highlight this. Oops. country also developing a lithium and battery industry, further increasing its reliance on electricity for these processes. So they just lost product, money, business. You have people depending on their motherfucking business. Damn, man, it's fucked up. Alright, so, and then the energy grid provider. Damn. You know what that means? That means that, oh shit, it's different. Oh man, I don't even want to get into it. But alright, let's just get an answer. I ain't trying to get into it. Alright, so the energy provider. I'm not gonna say that this was an attack on them. Because, damn, you know, I just mentioned a whole bunch of industries. It's not just one, it's a whole bunch. And this is gonna have a cascade effect. You know, like when water runs down the steps, like a slinky, right? Think about a slinky. One business falls, the next business falls, and blah 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 blah. By the time it gets to the fucking floor, you're dead broke. It fucking shit is all busted. Everything's fucked up. So now these people are gotta run and be like catching up to that fucking slinky. Like, damn. Because every time that slinky makes its move and touches the next level down, that's one level of industry that's fucking suffering. So, you know, everything that was in freezers is gone bad. That's including medicine. And if you had some sort of science projects, like you had your fucking eggs in a freezer, sperm in the freezer. Hell, you had your Uncle Bobby cryogenically frozen, so because he wanted to fucking live a little longer and die in this fucking area. That motherfucker's rotten. All those things are rotten, man. This is a lot of business. I mean, people don't get it, but that's okay. You know, I'm here to help your ass out. So, you know, that's really messed up. Just think about all those people, and it's common now. You see how women are. They ain't trying to have no fucking babies now. So what do? They freeze their eggs. Oh shit. They freeze their eggs. And the dudes are just the same. They ain't trying to deal with no fucking terrible woman. Fuck that. So they might freeze their fucking sperm because they don't know. They have a bleak perception of the future. They can't see it. All right. So let's say that these two Edomites from Spain, or they could be Jacob, but let's say there's two Edomites. They paid like 50,000 euros or whatever the fuck they pay. You know what? No, I don't want to do that. Whatever they paid to freeze their embryos or eggs. Oh shit, just imagine. There's that too. Fucking embryos. All those science projects done. Man. So that's wasted products and wasted money. So that affected the money, right? Let's see. So now let's look at the NY times fair use. Damn motherfucker. Alright. Shit. It says 3 oscillations in voltage lines in France or inland Spain. No, I don't fucking know what that is. I cannot tell you. But what I can tell you is we don't know the damage. It says here triggering automatic emergency protocols. Who the hell knows what that means? I mean, you know, I've been let's see. Damn. It says here, Ezekiel 5:12, the third part of these shall die with the pestilence and the famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and the third part shall fail by the sword round about thee, and I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. So basically, that's just talking about the you know, somebody getting separated. The third part is a lot. The third part. So this is basically talking about Israelites being scattered all over. So now there's people that could be Israelites being affected. And then, you know, it says they be consumed in the midst of thee. It says a famine and pestilence. So, and if you don't think one day's loss of food can create a famine, yeah. Damn. You never been hungry. Because look, and then the third part of it. So let's see what the old good Revelation has to say. All right, let's see. But I'm gonna do something. Go back over here. I'm gonna go over here. Whoa. Let's see. Third. All right. Let's see. All right. There's a lot of things about the third, but nothing. Let's see. All right. There's nothing really that I can use. Let's see, third. So let's go to And then we'll look for this word, pestilence. That's good. Exodus 9:15. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. So, that's all being allowed to happen. This is stretched out hand is from Yahweh, and he's making it happen. All right. So let's see, and that's talking about the Egyptians, right? Let's see. Let's go to it. Man, look at this one. Exodus 9:14. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and that thou mightst know that there is none like me in all the earth. So what happened over there is hard to understand, right? I really don't get all of it, but I know it's gonna have an effect, right? And this is just keep going over there. Just keep going over there. Let's see. Let's see. Alright. Alright, so this is Yahweh Shai saying it. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys of hell and of death. So let's look for that word hell. Hades. It says Hades. The name of Hades, or Pluto, the god of lower region, Orcus, the netherworld, the realm of the dead, the grave, death, hell. Alright. So it says here in biblical Greek, it is associated with Orcus, the infernal regions, a dark and dismal place in the very depths of the earth, the common receptacle of disembodied spirits. So it says Luke, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and set Abraham afar off, and Lazarus is in his bosom. So that one's parabolic. All right, let's close it. So the hell is basically the grave, right? And then it says Thanatos. Thanos. The death of the body. And that the body that you're trying to kill is I'm gonna say it, I might get in trouble, it's NATO. So let's do this. Alright. It says yes, Spain joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in 1982. So, and then there's Portugal. Oh, yeah, Portugal is too. See what 3 countries are not. Alright, that is that. So, it's Portugal. But it doesn't say that it's an ally. So this could be this could be the A or B, the separation of the soul and the body, which the life on earth is ended. But I think that this is probably the the death of the alliance between, because now they're gonna be like, we need money, and the U.S. is gonna be like, man, fuck this. But they're gonna be like, but we're allies. And you know how Trump feels about NATO, so I think this is gonna be a separation of that alliance, and this is gonna be bad. So I said all that to say just that. Wow. All right. So now let's get it's gonna give us some scripture. So this one, it says, 4. In the widest sense, death comprising all the miseries arising from sin, as well as physical death as loss of a life consecrated to God and blessed in Him on earth, to be followed by wretchedness in hell. Yeah. So over there, it's like the pit, right? They had to dig into hell to get that lithium. All right. All right. Matthew 16:28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in His kingdom. And we don't know how many rich people, or how many Amalekites are there. We'll find out when they start asking for money. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.